Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. So today I'm going to be taking you through my winter makeup routine, showing you all the products I can't live without in my makeup bag at the minute. So I have my makeup bag here and all my products ready to go, and I'm going to show you the products that I just can't live without in a minute and take you through my winter makeup routine. So grab yourself a warm beverage. I've got myself a cup of coffee, of course, and let's go through my makeup routine. So I'm going to be heading in to Greenwich today just to have a little mooch. It's a Saturday, so I thought let's have a slow, chill Saturday, romanticize my life, listen to music and just have a wander around. And I thought what better than to show you the makeup look that I've been loving at the minute. So if you want to see all the products that I can't live without at the moment and my everyday winter makeup routine, then keep watching. So I'm going with the egg hairstyle today because my hair is just really dry, so I put a hair mask in and I thought I'm gonna let that sit while I have a pretty chill Saturday and have a mooch around. I'm just putting on, this is a mini of the Magic Serum by Charlotte Tilbury, and it's really nourishing and hydrating on the skin. So I've been using this since I got it for Christmas and I actually really like it. I'm just putting a little bit of that on for some hydration. I think I'm going to start with my eyebrows. So for my eyebrow pencil, I always go in with this Precisely My Brow pencil in 3.5. I don't always fill in my eyebrows, but when I do, this is the product I will use. So I'm just going to brush through them and then start to fill them in. I like to use small little strokes and then just draw a line underneath the brow. I find that helps the most with giving me this shape and definition that I need. It also depends how light my hair is. If I've just got my hair dyed, which I haven't had it done in a while, and I'm thinking of maybe changing it up, but I'm still unsure, so I'm kind of leaving it at the minute. But if it's pretty light and pretty blonde, I do not fill in my eyebrows because the contrast is just a bit too much, in my opinion. But because my hair's a little bit darker at the minute and the roots are pretty grown out, I find that it kind of just works a little bit better. So that is literally all I do for the filling in process, nothing too fancy. Now, usually I go in with my NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel, but I picked up another of the e.l.f. Brow Lift and I think I'm going to go in with this today. It's a brand new pot, which we love. I love brand new makeup, and I have the brush from when I used to have it, so I think I'm gonna apply some of that to my brows and use this one today. So I just use the spatula end to kind of get it distributed through my brows, and then I'll go in with the spoolie and just start to brush them up. This gives you a very laminated brow, and for me it really works, but I do think it depends on your eyebrows and like if you have thick eyebrows, if you have a lot of hair, because one of my friends does not get along with this product at all. It did not work for her, but she has quite fine eyebrows, dark, but there's not a lot of eyebrow hair and it's not that thick, and this product just really did not work for her. So I think maybe if you have more of a coarse, thicker eyebrow, this one might work a little bit better for you. But let me know in the comments if you've tried this and if it works for you. I'd be really intrigued. I haven't seen my eyebrows like this in a while because the other eyebrow gel I use does not like laminate them like this. Now I leave them like this while I'm sort of doing the rest of my makeup. Like my eyebrows do really struggle to stay in place when I like laminate them or anything. It's the same with my eyelashes. Curling my eyelashes, they're so stubborn and it's quite frustrating, but it's just sort of something that I have sort of gotten used to over time. So they still do look really good once they're finished, they just don't look as laminated. But I'm just applying my classic Refy primer. This is one of my all-time favorite makeup products. I cannot live without this. This is the best primer ever, and honestly, if it's not in my makeup bag, I will probably panic because I cannot do my makeup without it. It is so good. If you haven't had a chance to try this or you haven't got your hands on this, please give it a go. It's honestly decently priced. It's not crazy expensive, but it's not obviously a drugstore product, but it's not like crazy expensive where it's like 50-60 pounds. I believe it's about 24 pounds. So if you can save up and get this, I'd highly recommend it. It's honestly such a good primer and it makes such a difference to my makeup. So I'm just going to use a little bit of my Huda concealer, which I will come back to in a minute, to prime my eyes. I'm just applying that over my lids to act as a base for my product, just so we have something to work off with in the eyeshadow, and I find that this works really, really well. Now we have a little bit of a base for the eyes to work off of. I'm going to go in with another Christmas present, which I am obsessed with. I am so blessed. I even haven't taken this off. That's really bad. I should probably take that off. But I had this on my wish list for a really long time. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. It just looks like this. It's honestly one of my favourite, like, everyday matte eyeshadows. Let me just show you the colours. I hope you can see that. It's kind of like difficult because it doesn't go back. I'm obsessed with the shades, the colours. They're just perfect for everyday wear, and it's the perfect matte palette. I am more of a warm tone than a cool tone girl. I'm venturing into the cool tones. Like, I got the Huda Beauty, I'm just looking down because I'm using it as a mirror, Icy Nudes palette, and that is incredible. I love that. It is more of a nude palette, more of a cool toned palette, sorry. However, I do absolutely love all the shades in there, and I'm venturing into using cool tones, but I'm a warm tone girl through and through. I just think they suit me better, and this palette, game changing. So I have been using this ever since my godmother kindly got me it for Christmas, and I'm obsessed. So I'm gonna do the eye look that I've been doing recently. Eyes change for me a lot. Some days I'll just go in with this. This is the Vive Hazelnut Eye Wand. These eye wands are great. I really love these from Vive. I think they're great if you're in a rush and you just need to shove something on your eyes and go. These are perfect. But ever since I got this, I've been leaning towards using this more, because I'm one of those girls that once I get a new makeup product, I'm using it until I find something else. But this is just such a beautiful palette, and I'm going to be going in with this very light shade. I'm not going to tell you the names because they're all like 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I think it just gets a bit confusing. But I'm going in with the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm just going to start to sort of set in the concealer just a little bit. I'm going to go under my eyebrow with that, and then take it into the inner corner just with a fluffy brush. And then there is another more cream nude shade, which is this one here, and I'm just going to go in with that and set the rest of my lid. It's a little bit more pigmented, and there's a slight warmth peachiness to it, so it just sort of acts as not only a setting colour but to build those colours onto the lid. And then I'm going to blend that into the crease as well. Just has a slight hue to it that kind of adds a little bit of warmth and colour to the lid, and it's easy to build colour up on top of this as a base. To start building some colour up on the lid, I'm going with this Morphe Jaclyn Hill brush. It's the JH03, any fluffy brush will do, and I'm going in with these top 2 light browns. So it's just going to be this one and this one here, and I'm just going to mix the 2 together and start to blend those into my crease to add a little bit of colour to the eyes and start to build up the eyeshadow. Now these eyeshadows are crazy pigmented in a good way. They just have the perfect colour payoff. They are buildable, and I'm just going to start to blend them into the eye. I love these eyeshadows. I just think they are honestly incredible, and they just have such beautiful tones to them. He also has a cool tone palette and a few more palettes that he's brought out. I absolutely love Makeup by Mario. I think his brand is great. I think his makeup is great, and his masterclasses look incredible. I haven't been to one, but I would love to, and I would love to get my makeup done by him. I just think he is a great makeup artist. I'm just blending that in. So now I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is one of the more medium toned browns in the palette, and I'm just going to start to darken up the crease, taking it a little bit lower with the same brush and blending that through. And I'm going to build up that sort of deeper colour. And go back in with that first blending brush and blend all of that together. Eyeshadow and makeup, in my opinion, is all about blending and working with the colours. If you are in doubt, just blend. blend it out, and honestly you'll find that it's not as stressful as you think it is. Going in with this brush here, I'm going to go in with this deeper shade here. It's one of the darker browns. It's still more of a wool tone. It's not quite as reddy as the shade, but there is a slight reddish hue to it. It's more of a chocolatier brown though, and it's not as deep as the last two, which is one is like a very deep brown shade and the other one is just black. Both of them are stunning shades. The undertones and the warmth into those browns, even though they're more of like a deeper shade, there's still like the warmth to them. I absolutely love them. And I'm just taking a tiny bit of that and blending that into the outer corner. Now I have quite hooded eyes, so I have to take up my colours quite a fair way to be seen. If you don't have hooded eyes, your placement, you can like follow the shape of your eye with the placement of your eyeshadow, but if you have got hooded eyes, you do just need to work with keeping them open and seeing if you can see that colour when they are open, because you're just seeing that top colour. Now this is my go-to eyeshadow palette in the minute. I have it always on me, always in my makeup bag, can't live without it, obsessed with it, and it has a permanent place in my makeup bag at the minute, along with my Huda Beauty Icy Nudes. Those are the two palettes that I'm just obsessed with at the moment. I'm going to go in with a angled brush. This is just from Real Techniques, and sometimes I go in with the black, but today I think I'm going to go in with this deeper brown shade, and I'm just going to do a slight wing. Now I do this with my eyes open and just draw out a wing from the corner of my eye and then connect it, just because that works best for my eye shape. And then I just buff that along the outer lash line as well. Now because you're doing it with eyeshadow, it's quite easy to clean up if it goes wrong, or say you take it out too far, you can clean it out really easy. And then I'm just gonna blend the eye one more time. I like to smoke that all out and then touch it up a little bit later. And then going in with this lighter shade again, I'm taking it on my finger. You can also take it on a shader brush if you wish, and I'm just applying that to the inner eye. So that is the super quick, easy eye that I've been doing at the minute. I absolutely love this palette, and if you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend. I know it's more expensive, it's on the more expensive side, but the colours are so beautiful. They're buttery, the eyeshadow quality is great, and I absolutely love this. But I will put some recommendations to more affordable eyeshadow palettes that kind of have a similar vibe to this one in the description, so you can check those out as well. If this one is just not sort of in the budget for you guys at the moment, I will leave some other ones in the description. Now we've let my primer sort of sink into the skin, I'm going to be going in with foundation. So this is the foundation that I've been using at the minute. However, you guys will know that I absolutely love my Huda Beauty Easy Blur foundation. It's stunning, it's amazing, but it is a little bit too dark for me at the minute. I'm a pale girl, and this is just a little bit too dark for me at the minute, so I'm going in with an oldie but a goodie. This was my favorite foundation for so long, but as it went into summer and I got a little bit more of a tan, I just couldn't use it anymore. This is the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. Just looks like this. It's a great foundation. I absolutely love this. This I would say is on par with this one. They're both great, and this is the one that I'm going in with today. So I'm just putting, I think I'm going to start with 3 pumps on the back of my hand. I'm going in with my Morphe x Ariel brush. I'm just going to start to apply this to my skin. It just gives you the most beautiful, flawless coverage, and it just leaves your skin looking so airbrushed and so doll-like, very similar to the Huda Beauty. I think they have similar finishes. I will have to double check that because I don't know like 100%, but they appear to have very similar finishes to them. I'm just gonna apply a little bit more because that was not enough. I love this brush, by the way. I am going in with brushes and my sponges sort of alternatively. Sometimes I use a brush, sometimes I use a sponge. Most of the time I will use both. But as you can see, I'm not applying all that much foundation to my skin, but it is just so beautiful, and the coverage, and just evenness that it gives to my skin is incredible. I'm obsessed with it. It's matching it pretty well to my neck because I am a pale girl at the minute. It is winter. We are in full swing of winter. It is January, so we are trying our best here. And I do take a little bit more, just one pump on the back of my hand, and then I go in with a sponge, and I just like to apply that into the sort of more inner parts of my face, around my nose and eyes and eyebrows, just to make sure that I'm really getting the coverage around my eyebrows and in those areas which are just a little bit more difficult to get with the brush. And then I use the point of the sponge to kind of drag outside my eyes, just to sort of help with the shape of the eyeshadow, and then blend away. These are the Marshmallow Sponges by Clomana. I believe that's how you say the brand name. I absolutely love them. I was a little bit late on the train to trying them, but honestly, I understand the hype. They're so good and I love them. I'd highly recommend them if you haven't tried them out. You always need a beauty sponge, in my opinion. Even though I love brushes, I just don't think you can beat having a sponge. It just makes sure everything is blended in so beautifully, so seamlessly, and it's also great for when you're in a rush. You can just use your sponge to shove your products on your face and run out the door. I got the kit with the two, and I go between using this one and this one. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm in a quick rush, I'm going to use this one, but to get into sort of under the eyes and any areas like around your nose and that, this one in my opinion is just so much better. So next I'm going to go into the bronzing slash contouring of the face, and to do that I'm going in with the Milani Cheek Kiss in Hey Honey. So it just looks like this. As you can see, this is very well loved and has been a staple for me in my makeup bag at the moment. I use it every time I do my makeup. It is honestly the contour slash bronzing product that I swear by at the minute. I am just obsessed with it, and as you can see, it's very well loved. So this is the product that I cannot live without at the minute. It is hitting pan, so once I finish this, I am going to decide if I want to maybe try something else out or go back to using this one. Now I do really want to try the Fenty Beauty, I don't know what it's called, but essentially it's a similar sort of product. It's their cream bronzer. Me and my sister went into Boots the other day in Covent Garden, and we were looking at the Fenty stand because she is paler than me, and she was really struggling to find like a drugstore product that really gave her the contour that she was looking for. So I said, why don't we try a Fenty Beauty, because Fenty has some really great shade ranges for both very pale and very deep skin tones. I really love the shade ranges that she has. I think it's just so game changing. And so we were looking at the contour products for her, and then I saw the sort of cream bronzers and I was like, I actually really like the shade and the consistency and sort of the finish that it gives. So I'm wondering if maybe I'll try that one next and see how I get along with it. Obviously I think this one is cheaper than the Fenty Beauty one. I don't know if it's by much, if I'm honest, because I think this was about £15-16, and if I'm not wrong, the Fenty Beauty is about 20-23, so there isn't a huge difference in the prices, but this one is a little bit cheaper. But I'm thinking about maybe trying that next. I'm going in with this e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush, and I'm just using this end of my nose. I do love using this brush too to sort of blend that out over the top, but to place the product down and really start with the like contouring and bronzing process, I really do like that Real Techniques brush. I just use this to sort of further blend that product out. So blush is something that I am obsessed with and change up on the regular, but the three that are always in my kit is this is the Rhodes Toasted Teddy, a classic, a great shade. It's a beautiful blush, I absolutely love it and I do use it a lot. Next is Rare Beauty's Hope. I love Rare Beauty blushes, these are incredible, and I just think one of my top blushes, really. Rare Beauty is one of my top blushes. I think these three actually might be my top formula blushes at the minute and have been for a while. This is the last one. This is the Patrick Tars She's Flush Double take cream and powder duo. I'm sure you guys know all of these, they're so popular, and honestly I absolutely love them. I just think the formulas are great and the last on them is really good. I don't have a bad thing to say about them, and they are my top 3 at the minute. I think I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty today because I have been picking up this one a little bit more at the minute. So I am just going to apply 2 dots on my cheeks of this Rare Beauty Hope, 1 on my nose, and then I go in with a angled blush brush. This is just the one I've been using at the minute. You can't actually get this brush anymore because the company no longer exists. That is how old this brush is, but I absolutely love it for blending out blush. Another one that I do use and I kind of forget to use sometimes is this one. This is the Morphe x Ariel, what is this, the 58 brush. This one also is a really great brush to use for blending out your blush. As you can see, it just helps really blend that into the skin and blend that into the contour. And this is obviously a different shade to this one, so just use a brush that works for you. I do like to blend my blush up into my hairline as well because hair is up at the minute, so you really want to make sure you're sort of getting it into the hairline and not having like that awful line, because I am very pale and my scalp is very pale and we don't want that line. So I really want to make sure I'm blending the product in and that there's not a terrible line. So concealer is Huda Beauty. This is my all-time favourite concealer at the minute, and I do think it's one of my favourites. This and the House Labs I really think are tied for the top concealers for me at the minute. I just haven't been able to pick up the House Labs for the minute. I do want to pick up the concealer and the foundation in that though, so that I think is going to be one of my next purchases. But this one is just amazing. This is the Faux Filter Concealer from Huda Beauty in the shade 2.1. Again, has a very great shade range. I'm very impressed with the shade range that they have, and I absolutely love this concealer. It is more of a matte concealer, which honestly I did not know, and I don't find that that's an issue for me. I have more of an oily skin. It's a combination and it can get dry, but it's more combination than dry, and I don't have any issues with this being a matte concealer. The finish is so like doll like and just flawless, but the actual coverage and brightness that it gives me under the eyes and the finish of this concealer is just beautiful. You do not need a knot. It is very pigmented. It has a lot of colour to it. I do think it's a very creamy consistency, even though it is more of a matte finish. It's still very buttery and creamy on the skin, and I do find that I do not need to powder as much under my eyes. I think if you have dry skin, I would be careful using a lot of powder with this product, or maybe this product just won't work for you because it is more of a matte finish. But for me, it is great and it works really well, and I find that I do not have to use a lot of powder under my eyes. As you can see, it just really brightens up the face, brightens up the under eyes, and just brings the look together. So now we've finished with all of our creams, we're going to go in with our powders. So for powdered bronzers, my all-time favourite are the Hourglass ones. Now I have 2. I have the mini one, which is the first one I tried in Luminous Bronze Lights, and I absolutely love this bronzer. The Hourglass one is so good. This one is a little more of an orange tone, whereas the big one I got, which is the Nude Bronze Light, is a slightly more of a cooler shade. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see that, but this one is more of a cool toned bronzer. That one is a little bit more orangey. So at the minute, this is just too orangey and too deep for me. It is a beautiful shade, however, just a bit too deep for me. So this is going to be perfect in the summer, and it's also great because it's travel size, so it's perfect for traveling and using in the summer. But the one that I use at the minute is Nude Bronze Light, and I absolutely love this. One of my all-time favourite bronzers. However, my godmother also picked me up a Huda bronzer for Christmas, and I have been loving using this again. Obviously, they are very different. This is a matte formula, this is more of a luminous formula and finish. But both of them are all-time favourite bronzers. You can't go wrong with the Hoola bronzer. Hoola is just the all-time OG bronzer, which I will always love. But this, I think, is my all-time favorite bronzer, especially at the minute, and more of a newer formula, I guess you could say. That's like an OG one you can't go wrong with. But I don't know, there's something about this formula. It's buttery, it's just so beautiful on the skin. It gives you like a luminosity, but it's not like glittery. It just like melts in like butter to the skin and almost gives you like a youthful glow when you apply it, and I just love it. So I'm gonna go in with this one today. I'm just gonna apply that to the places that we applied the Milani, so my forehead, my cheek, and then around my jaw and down my neck, just to sort of bring it all together and also set the cream products. I am a big believer in, if you go in with cream, you need to set it with powder, because that's just what works for my skin. If you have more of a drier skin, then you probably won't need to do that, but I need to set down my cream products, and I just think it really pulls the makeup look together. It gives you more of a flawless base when you do that, so that is what I do, and that is what works for me. These are the bronzing products that I actually can't live without. This one is obviously not really in my makeup bag at the minute because it's too dark, but the Hourglass and the Hoola are always in my makeup kit, and I just top tier, highly recommend, will always use these. The powder blush, of course I have the blush that comes with the Patrick tar, but I usually just use those two together. I don't tend to use that powder without the cream product first. I just think they work so well together as a formula. But the blush that I have been using at the minute, and I am a fan of, and it's an oldie but a goodie, is the Baked Powder Blushes from Milani. So this is one in the shade Coralina. It just looks like this. I will swatch it for you. It is quite a pink, brighter pink shade, and this is the one that I've been using at the minute and have been loving. I'm going in with my all-time favourites Ariel blush brush in A22, and I just like to diffuse this onto the cheeks. It is so beautiful. It's very pigmented, but it's a very buttery, luminous finish. Again, it's not glittery, but it just has a luminosity to it, which really works well with that Hourglass bronzer. Of course, I apply some to my nose, my cheeks, a little on my forehead and my chin to bring that all together. But I absolutely love this blush. I love the finish of it. These have been just cult favourites of people's for a while, and I understand the hype. I used to use Luminoso a while back when it was like trending. Of course, I feel like everyone did. But I picked this up when I saw it in Superdrug. Milani has come to Superdrug more recently in the UK, and I'm a fan. I am a fan, and it's nice to be able to have these products a little bit more accessible and try them out. So I have been loving this. Is the only powder blush except for the Patrick tar that I have in my kit at the minute. So I'm just going to go in with my sponge and sort of blend that all in, make sure everything is flawlessly blended and just seamlessly working it together before we go in with our powder. So the only two powders I have at the moment and that have not left my makeup bag since purchase is these two: the Flawless Airbrush Finish Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury and Pound Cake's Huda Beauty loose powder. This is my all-time favorite loose powder. I just don't think you can beat this formula. I don't think you can beat the finish. It's incredible, it's beautiful. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's just all-time favorite powder. Pressed powder, this is my all-time favorite. If I'm in a rush, on the go, and I need just a little bit of powder, I'm looking a little bit oily, this just blends into that makeup. It gets rid of that too much shine, and it's just such a flawless doll-like finish, very similar to this one. I do not go in with this one as much now I have this one. However, I do like to sometimes finish off my makeup with a little bit more powder, so I will go in with this. Or if I'm running about during the day and I need a bit of powder, this is what I will go in with. It is just amazing. Honestly, one of the best powders I have ever used. Usually I use whatever is left on the sort of applicator it comes with, just to press that into my forehead, because I don't want to like waste product. But I go in with this. This is just a Brushworks little triangle, and apply that under my eyes. Not too much, just a little bit to mattify. You can really see the finish there. It mattifies, it gives you such a flawless doll-like finish, and it's just so beautiful, and it really brings everything together. especially when I go over like with the blushes. It sort of just diffuses that product so beautifully and works so well. I use the shade Pound Cake for reference. I just use a little bit on my jawline as well to sort of help with the shape there, adding a little bit more structure and definition. And then of course around my mouth and nose, just to really ensure everything is mattified and set. And then I go in with my sponge and just blend over everything. So make sure there's no harsh lines with the neck. So now I'm going to go back on to the eyes, and I'm going back in with my Maro palette and back in with that deeper shade to just make sure we still have that wing going on in the eyes. Make sure it's a little bit more obvious now, and connecting it back in to that waterline. Now if I want a little shimmer to the eyes, I go in with the only single eyeshadow I have in my makeup bag at the minute, and this is from e.l.f. and I think these are great. These are the Fine as Fleck glitter eyeshadows, and this one is in Champagne Showers. First of all, the packaging is really cute and I really love this shade. It's a really beautiful shade. I think these are really great for single eyeshadows. For the price, and the quality is great. I don't think you can really like say that e.l.f. as a brand has not come up a bunch this year. Like honestly, their product quality is great for the price and I really don't think you can beat it. They have some really great dupes and some really great just products in general that aren't dupes but still great products. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more affordable and you want really good quality makeup that's gonna give you that same finish as those high-end products, I really do think e.l.f. is a good place to look and a good brand to sort of start with. And especially if you're newer to makeup, go look at e.l.f. and go find some products in there, experiment. I think that's a great place to start. I've just applied a tiny bit of that in my inner corners, and then I'm just going to go in with a blender brush and blend that in. Just add a little shimmer to the eye. Now finishing off the eyes, I'm going to go in and curl my eyelashes. I just use this eyelash colour from e.l.f. I can't actually see what I'm doing. All-time favourite. Absolutely love this. My roommate and her boyfriend came home and they were being really loud, so all of this is muted, but this is one of my all-time favourite mascaras. Absolutely love it and can't live without it. These lip liners are some of my favourite formulas. As you know, I love the Rare Beauty ones, but the Makeup Forever ones are incredible, and so are the Jordana t-shirt. All-time favourite. Absolutely love this. One of my favourites. I'm just going to line this is in the shade Whenever Walnut, one of my all-time favourites. It's a kind of pinky nude shade. It has a sort of warmth to it, which I love in a nude lip liner. And honestly, I think it's just a Your Lips But Better shade for me. I absolutely love this and I have been reaching for it a lot at the minute. I also love this Vive Mirror Lip Dew. Again, one of my favourites. Absolutely love it. And honestly, Vive is becoming one of my favourite brands at the minute. Now to finish it all off. Obsessed. It's so good. I've been trying this out. I still don't know 100% what my thoughts are. I do love it, but I'm trying to figure out which is sort of better. I'm still not sure, but at the minute it's been this. I've been using this. I've been loving this, and both of these need to be in my kit because I'm obsessed with them. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in a brand new video.